Brave human soldier Alex traversed the dense, alien forest of Zorath 5, his boots crunching on the strange, violet foliage beneath him. The sky above was a swirling mix of teal and gold, casting an ethereal glow on the land. His mission was simple: scout the area for any signs of danger and report back. Yet, he couldn't shake the feeling that something extraordinary awaited him. As he moved deeper into the woods, a sudden burst of heat and light erupted nearby. Flames, wild and untamed, licked the trees, consuming everything in their path. A wildfire, fierce and unforgiving, had sparked out of nowhere, and Alex's instincts kicked in. He ran toward the source, his pulse quickening with each step. Through the thick smoke, he spotted a figure, slender, graceful, and unmistakably alien. Her skin shimmered with a silvery hue, and her eyes, a captivating shade of emerald, radiated both fear and determination. She was trapped, surrounded by the encroaching flames, her attempts to extinguish them proving futile. Without hesitation, Alex sprang into action. He called out, his voice cutting through the roar of the fire. "Hold on. I'm coming." He navigated the treacherous terrain, his training guiding his every move. Reaching her side, he grabbed her hand, her touch cool and calming despite the heat surrounding them. "Trust me," he urged, leading her through a narrow path that seemed to open just for them. They dodged falling branches and leaping flames, the world around them a chaotic inferno. The alien woman stumbled, and Alex caught her, his grip firm yet gentle. Together, they pressed on, their shared determination driving them forward. Finally, they emerged from the blaze, collapsing onto a grassy clearing. Gasping for air, they turned to watch the fire consume the forest behind them. The alien woman looked at Alex, gratitude and relief evident in her eyes. She spoke in a melodic language, her voice a soothing balm to his frayed nerves. Though he didn't understand her words, her intent was clear. She placed a hand over her heart, then extended it toward him. Alex nodded, smiling despite the exhaustion. "You're welcome," he said, hoping she grasped his meaning. The alien woman motioned for him to follow, leading him toward a hidden sanctuary deep within the forest. There, in a grove untouched by the fire, stood a crystalline structure that seemed to pulse with life. She gestured for him to enter, her expression earnest and inviting. Inside, the air was cool and filled with the scent of blooming flowers. The walls shimmered, reflecting the light in mesmerizing patterns. The alien woman guided Alex to a central chamber, where an ancient, glowing artifact rested on a pedestal. She spoke again, her tone reverent and solemn. Alex watched as she activated the artifact, its light bathing them both in a gentle glow. He felt a surge of energy, a connection forming between them that transcended language and species. The alien woman placed her hands over his, her touch conveying a profound sense of gratitude and respect. As the light faded, Alex felt a transformation within himself. He sensed that he had been bestowed with something extraordinary, a gift, a reward for his bravery and compassion. The alien woman smiled, her eyes shimmering with unspoken promises. She leaned in, pressing her forehead against his in a gesture of deep respect and connection. From that moment on, Alex knew his life had changed. The bond forged in the heart of the wildfire had given him a purpose beyond his mission. Together, they would face the challenges ahead, their destinies forever intertwined by the flames that had once threatened to consume them. In the days that followed, Alex and the alien woman, whose name he learned was Liora, became inseparable. Though their languages differed, they developed a unique way of understanding each other through gestures, expressions, and the bond that had formed between them. Alex marveled at the richness of Liora's world, Zorath 5, a planet teeming with life forms and wonders unlike anything he had ever encountered. Liora introduced Alex to her people, the Sylari, a peaceful, nature-attuned race who lived in harmony with their environment. The Sylari were wary of outsiders, especially humans, due to past conflicts and misunderstandings. However, Liora's recounting of Alex's bravery during the wildfire began to shift their perspective. They welcomed him, albeit cautiously, recognizing the rare act of selflessness he had shown. Alex, in turn, shared stories of Earth, his home, and the human race's struggles and triumphs. He demonstrated human ingenuity, from simple tools to more complex technology, sparking curiosity among the Sylari. They were particularly fascinated by Alex's stories of human resilience, which resonated with their own values. One evening, as the twin moons of Zorath 5 cast a silvery glow over the forest, Liora led Alex to a sacred glade. Here, she revealed a prophecy long held by the Sylari, a prophecy that spoke of a stranger from the stars who would come during a time of great peril, uniting the Sylari with wisdom and courage. Liora believed Alex was the one the prophecy foretold. Though humbled, Alex felt the weight of this revelation. He had never seen himself as anything more than a soldier, yet the Sylari saw in him the potential to be a bridge between worlds. Their peaceful lives were soon threatened as scouts brought news of an impending invasion by a faction of rogue Sylari, discontent with the old ways and seeking to dominate the planet using forbidden technology. The rogue faction, known as the Draal, had been emboldened by recent events, seeing the Wildfire as a sign of the Sylari's vulnerability. The Sylari Council convened, debating the best course of action. Alex, though new to their ways, offered his help, drawing upon his military training and experience. He proposed strategies to fortify their defenses while emphasizing the importance of diplomacy to avoid unnecessary bloodshed. Liora stood by his side, her faith in Alex unwavering. She acted as a mediator, translating his ideas and helping the council see the wisdom in his words. Slowly, the Sylari began to trust Alex's judgment, preparing both for defense and possible negotiation. As the days passed, Alex trained alongside the Sylari warriors, teaching them new tactics and learning from their ancient combat techniques, which relied heavily on their connection to the planet's natural energy. This exchange of knowledge deepened the bond between them, fostering a mutual respect that transcended their differences. In the midst of preparations, Alex and Liora's relationship blossomed. Their shared experiences and growing trust turned into something more profound, a love that neither had anticipated but both embraced wholeheartedly. They became each other's anchor, drawing strength and comfort in a time of looming uncertainty. The day of the Draal's arrival dawned ominously, with dark clouds gathering on the horizon. The Sylari stood ready, their hearts steeled for what was to come. Alex, clad in armor fashioned from the crystalline structures of Zorath 5, stood at the forefront with Liora by his side, her presence a beacon of hope. As the Draal forces approached, Alex and Liora exchanged a glance, unspoken words passing between them. This was the moment where courage and conviction would be tested. Together, they would face whatever came, knowing that the unity they had forged was their greatest strength. The battle began with a tense standoff, the two sides facing each other across the clearing. Alex stepped forward, raising a hand in a gesture of peace, hoping to appeal to the Draal's sense of reason. He spoke, his voice firm yet conciliatory, urging them to reconsider the path of violence and destruction. Liora, too, spoke, her voice filled with the authority and compassion of her lineage. She reminded the Draal of their shared heritage and the devastation that such conflict would bring to their beloved planet. For a moment, it seemed as though her words might sway them. But the Draal leader, a fierce warrior named Kael, remained unmoved, his heart hardened by years of resentment. He signaled his troops to advance, and the clash began in earnest, the air filled with the sounds of battle and the cries of both sides. Alex and Liora fought side by side, their movements synchronized as if they had trained together for years. Alex's human tactics combined with Liora's natural agility and connection to the planet made them a formidable duo. Their bravery inspired the Sylari, who fought with renewed vigor. Despite their best efforts, the battle seemed to teeter on the brink of disaster. The Draal's technology was overwhelming, threatening to tip the scales in their favor. Alex, recognizing the danger, devised a bold plan. He proposed using the artifact they had discovered, the same one that had forged his bond with Liora, to unleash a surge of energy that could disable the Draal's technology. Liora agreed, though it was a risky move that could potentially harm both sides. With the Council's consent, they set the plan in motion. Alex and Liora made their way to the artifact's chamber, activating it with the combined strength of their bond. A pulse of energy erupted from the artifact, spreading across the battlefield, disarming the Draal's weapons and rendering their technology useless. The Draal, disoriented and weakened, found themselves at the mercy of the Sylari. Liora once again stepped forward, offering them a chance to surrender and return to the ways of peace. This time, her words found their mark. The Draal, humbled and defeated, laid down their arms, agreeing to negotiate a new path forward. The battle ended, not with a victory wrought by violence, but through the courage and wisdom of those who dared to believe in unity. Alex and Liora, their bond tested and strengthened, stood as symbols of what could be achieved when differences were set aside for a greater purpose. In the days that followed, the Sylari and the Draal began the slow process of rebuilding trust and harmony. Alex, hailed as a hero, chose to stay on Zorath 5, finding a new home among the Sylari. His journey had taken him across galaxies, but it was in the heart of an alien forest, alongside a courageous woman and a people who embraced him, that he found his true calling. As the Sylari and Draal worked toward reconciliation, Alex found himself increasingly involved in the governance and rebuilding efforts. His unique perspective as an outsider and his experience in conflict resolution proved invaluable. Alongside Liora, he mediated discussions, proposed solutions, and helped bridge the gap between the two factions. In the quiet moments between these responsibilities, Alex and Liora deepened their connection. They spent evenings beneath the twin moons, sharing stories of their respective worlds and dreams for the future. Their love blossomed like the vibrant flora of Zorath 5, rooted in mutual respect and admiration. One day, during a routine patrol of the forest's edges, Alex noticed subtle changes in the environment. The land, once thriving, now showed signs of distress. Plants withered, and streams ran dry. Alarmed, he brought this to Liora's attention. Together, they consulted the elders, who confirmed that the planet's natural energy, the very life force of Zorath 5, was diminishing. The elders spoke of an ancient legend, one that had not been told for generations. It was said that Zorath 5 was sustained by a core crystal buried deep within the planet, a source of immense power and vitality. However, misuse or imbalance could cause this crystal to weaken, threatening the entire ecosystem. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Alex and Liora decided to embark on a perilous journey to locate and restore the core crystal. The task was daunting, as the path to the crystal was fraught with natural and mystical challenges. They gathered a small group of brave Sylari, including warriors and scholars, who shared their determination to save their world. The journey took them through treacherous terrain, vast deserts, towering mountains, and dark, labyrinthine caves. Each step tested their endurance and resolve, but their unity kept them moving forward. Along the way, they encountered ancient guardians, creatures that had long protected the secrets of Zorath 5. These guardians, initially hostile, recognized the sincerity and courage of the group, allowing them passage after rigorous trials. As they neared the core crystal's chamber, the group faced their greatest challenge yet. A powerful, malevolent force, drawn to the crystal's energy, had taken root, corrupting its power. This entity, an amalgamation of fear and greed, had to be confronted and neutralized to restore balance. Alex, Liora, and their companions steeled themselves for the final confrontation. The battle against the entity was fierce, pushing them to the brink of their abilities. Alex, drawing on his soldiers' training and the bond he shared with Liora, found an inner strength he had never known. Together, they channeled their energies, using both technology and ancient Sylari rituals to weaken the entity. In a climactic moment, Liora, tapping into her connection with Zorath 5, invoked the power of the core crystal. Alex, standing by her side, supported her with his unwavering faith and love. The crystal responded to their combined efforts, emitting a blinding light that engulfed the entity, purging its corruption. As the light faded, the core crystal began to pulse with renewed vigor, its energy flowing back into the planet. The environment responded immediately, with plants blooming and water sources rejuvenating. The group, though exhausted, felt a profound sense of accomplishment and relief. Returning to their people, Alex and Liora were hailed as saviors, their story inspiring generations to come. The Sylari and Draal, witnessing the lengths to which Alex and Liora had gone to save their shared world, found a new sense of unity and purpose. In the aftermath, Alex made a decision that surprised even himself. He chose to remain on Zorath 5 permanently, finding in Liora and the Sylari a family and a future worth protecting. He and Liora continued to lead their people, guiding them into an era of peace and prosperity, their love a beacon of hope for all. Their journey, from the wildfire that first brought them together to the restoration of the planet's heart, became a legend, a tale of courage, love, and the enduring power of unity in the face of overwhelming odds. And though their story continued to unfold, one truth remained. Together, they could overcome any challenge, their bond as unbreakable as the very core of Zorath 5. Life on Zorath 5 gradually settled into a harmonious rhythm, But Alex and Liora knew that peace was a fragile thing. They dedicated themselves to fostering understanding between the Sylari and Draal, ensuring that old wounds healed completely and that future generations would inherit a unified world. The bond between Alex and Liora grew deeper with each passing day. They became not only leaders but also symbols of the unity they had fought so hard to achieve. Their love was a testament to the power of collaboration across different species and cultures. One evening, as the twin moons bathed the forest in soft light, Alex and Liora stood on a balcony overlooking their growing settlement. The crystalline structures of the Sylari gleamed in the moonlight, blending seamlessly with the natural beauty of the forest. Liora leaned against Alex, her gaze thoughtful. "Do you ever miss Earth?" she asked, her voice gentle. Alex wrapped his arm around her, pulling her close. "Sometimes," he admitted, "but I found something here that I never had on Earth. A place where I truly belong. With you, and with our people." Liora smiled, her eyes shimmering. "We are stronger together, and we have so much more to build." Their conversation was interrupted by a distant sound, a low, humming vibration that seemed to resonate from deep within the planet. They exchanged a concerned look and quickly descended to the council chambers, where the elders were already gathering. The sound was coming from the core crystal, and it signaled an unexpected shift in its energy. Though the corruption had been purged, the crystal now seemed to be reacting to something else, something distant yet powerful. The council convened, discussing the implications. Some feared it was a precursor to another threat, while others believed it was a call for further action, perhaps an invitation from the universe itself. Liora turned to Alex, her expression a mix of curiosity and determination. "Whatever it is, we must be ready. Our journey may not be over." Alex nodded, feeling the familiar stir of purpose. "We'll face it together, just like we always have." In the days that followed, they prepared for whatever lay ahead. Scouts were sent to the far reaches of the planet to gather information, and the most skilled artisans and engineers worked tirelessly to enhance their defenses and technology. As preparations continued, Alex and Liora shared a quiet moment, reflecting on the path that had brought them here. Their journey had been filled with challenges, but it had also forged an unbreakable bond between them and their people. "Whatever comes next," Alex said, taking Liora's hand, "we'll face it together. We have the strength of this planet, the wisdom of its people, and the power of our bond." Liora squeezed his hand, her gaze steady. "And with that, there's nothing we cannot overcome." The sound from the core crystal grew louder, reverberating through the land and sky, a mysterious melody that hinted at new adventures and challenges beyond their imagination. Alex and Liora stood side by side, ready to embrace the unknown, their hearts intertwined with the fate of Zorath 5 and the endless possibilities of the cosmos. Their story, far from over, was just beginning, a new chapter waiting to unfold in the vast, uncharted universe. The resonance from the core crystal intensified, sending ripples across the land. It was no longer just a sound, it was a beckoning, an enigmatic call that seemed to pulse with ancient knowledge. The Sylari, attuned to the planet's rhythms, gathered in reverence around the crystal's chamber. Alex and Liora stood at the forefront, their minds focused on deciphering this profound mystery. Days turned into weeks as scholars and seers interpreted the crystal's vibrations, piecing together fragments of lore passed down through generations. They spoke of a celestial convergence, an event that occurred once every 1,000 years, when Zorath 5 aligned perfectly with 3 other planets in a distant star system. This alignment was believed to unlock gateways to other realms, connecting Zorath 5 to places of immense power and potential peril. Realizing the significance, Alex and Liora understood that the planet's destiny was intertwined with the cosmic balance of this convergence. They had to act, not just to protect Zorath 5, but to ensure that this gateway, if opened, would not fall into the wrong hands. News of the convergence spread rapidly, drawing the attention of interstellar factions and ancient enemies who saw an opportunity for conquest and control. The Sylari and Draal, once focused on healing their internal rift, now faced a much larger threat. Their world had become a focal point in a cosmic struggle. Alex, seasoned in the art of war, began preparing the Sylari and Draal for the possibility of invasion. He devised strategies that combined Earth's military tactics with the unique abilities of the Sylari, blending technology with the planet's natural defenses. Liora, with her profound connection to Zorath 5's energy, worked tirelessly to strengthen the crystal, ensuring it could withstand the forces it might attract. In the midst of these preparations, Alex and Liora received an unexpected visitor, a wandering traveler named Kael'thar, an enigmatic figure who claimed to be a guardian of the ancient gateways. His presence was both a warning and a guide. He spoke of worlds that had fallen into chaos because of misused gateways and offered his aid in safeguarding Zorath 5. Skeptical yet hopeful, Alex and Liora accepted Kael'thar's help. His knowledge of the cosmic convergence and the gateways was invaluable. He taught them how to harness the crystal's energy to stabilize the gateway, turning it into a force of balance rather than destruction. As the day of the convergence approached, tension gripped the planet. The skies above Zorath 5 darkened, filled with the eerie glow of approaching celestial bodies. Fleets of ships from various factions hovered in orbit, their intentions unclear but ominous. On the eve of the convergence, Alex addressed the gathered Sylari and Draal, his voice calm but resolute. "We stand at the threshold of a new era, one that will define not just our world, but many others. Our unity is our greatest strength. Together, we will protect Zorath 5 and ensure that the power of the gateway is used for good." Liora stood beside him, her gaze filled with determination. "This is our home, and we will not allow it to be taken from us. We fight not just for ourselves, but for the future of all who seek peace and harmony." As the first rays of the convergence bathed the land, the core crystal pulsed with intense energy. The gateway began to shimmer, a swirling vortex of light and color. From it, beings from across the cosmos emerged, some seeking knowledge and peace, others driven by greed and power. The battle that followed was fierce and chaotic. Alex and Liora led their people with courage and wisdom, using every resource at their disposal to defend the gateway. Kael'thar, wielding ancient powers, stood as a sentinel, guiding the energy of the crystal to stabilize the gateway and prevent its misuse. In the heart of the conflict, Alex and Liora faced the greatest test of their bond. A malevolent force, far stronger than anything they had encountered, sought to seize the gateway's power. It was a being of shadow and despair, thriving on fear and discord. Alex, drawing on his human resilience, and Liora, channeling the spirit of Zorath 5, confronted this entity together. Their love and unity became a beacon of light, pushing back the darkness. With a final, combined effort, they sealed the gateway, banishing the malevolent force and restoring balance. As the convergence ended, the skies cleared, and peace settled over Zorath 5 once more. The Sylari and Draal, along with their new allies from distant stars, celebrated their hard-won victory. Alex and Liora, their bond stronger than ever, stood beneath the twin moons, knowing that their journey was far from over. The cosmos was vast, filled with wonders and challenges yet to be discovered. Together, they would face whatever came next, ready to write the next chapter of their extraordinary story. In the days following the cosmic battle, Zorath 5 began to heal from the aftermath of the convergence. The skies, once dark and foreboding, now gleamed with the soft, welcoming light of the twin moons. The forests regained their vibrant hues, and the rivers flowed with renewed vigor, as if the planet itself was breathing a sigh of relief. The Sylari and Draal worked side by side, rebuilding their settlements and strengthening the bonds that had formed during the crisis. The presence of interstellar allies who had chosen to remain further enriched their community, bringing new knowledge and perspectives to Zorath 5. Alex and Liora, hailed as the saviors of the planet, found themselves in a rare moment of tranquility. They stood together on a high ridge overlooking their world, the wind gently rustling the leaves around them. "We did it," Liora said softly, her eyes reflecting the peaceful landscape below. Alex nodded, pulling her into a gentle embrace. "We did it together. We've faced every challenge side by side, and now we can finally look forward to a future of peace." Liora smiled, her heart full of gratitude and love. "And what a future it will be. Our people united, new friends from the stars, and a world that has become a beacon of hope for others." They returned to the heart of their community, where preparations were underway for a grand celebration. The Sylari and Draal, along with their interstellar guests, had planned a festival to honor the unity and resilience of Zorath 5. Music filled the air, and the scent of exotic flowers and delicacies wafted through the settlement. As night fell, the festival reached its peak. Lights adorned the trees, casting a magical glow over the gathering. Liora, radiant in a flowing gown made of shimmering Sylari fabric, took Alex's hand and led him to the center of the festivities. With a gentle nod from Liora, the music softened, and she addressed the crowd. "Tonight, we celebrate more than victory. We celebrate unity, love, and the indomitable spirit of our people. We are stronger together, and together we have secured a future filled with hope." Alex, moved by her words, stepped forward. "I found a home here, not just in this world, but in the hearts of its people. We've shown that no challenge is too great when we stand together. This is just the beginning of a brighter future." The crowd erupted in cheers, their joy and pride evident. As the music resumed, Alex and Liora joined in the dance, their movements graceful and in sync, embodying the harmony they had fought so hard to achieve. As the night wore on, Alex and Liora stole away from the crowd, seeking a quiet moment under the stars. They sat by the crystal-clear lake that reflected the night sky, its surface shimmering like a mirror of the universe. Liora leaned against Alex, her voice soft and full of wonder. "There's so much out there, so many worlds and stories waiting to be discovered." Alex kissed her forehead, his voice equally filled with anticipation. "And we'll explore them together. Wherever the stars take us, we'll face it hand in hand." Their promise hung in the air, a testament to the unbreakable bond they had forged. Under the watchful gaze of the twin moons, Alex and Liora found their happily ever after. A love story that had begun in the flames of a wildfire and flourished into a legend that would inspire generations. And so, with hearts full of hope and a future as vast as the cosmos, Alex and Liora embraced the dawn of a new chapter, ready to journey into the stars and beyond, forever united by love and the unyielding spirit of Zorath 5.